gonna give folks another minute to join. And let me just take a look here. Give me a second. What candidates we are. Let's see. Amy and Katrina. All right. I had you hit record and I'm still kind of haven't really started the show here yet, but why don't we go ahead and get started? Like I said, I know that Shiley has a commitment, and so we want to go ahead and get started and make sure we end on time as well. All right, let me do this, do this. Is this showing up all right, or do you guys want me to go into presentation mode?
It shows up fine, Karen.
Okay,
That's how you want to do it.
perfect. There we go. All right. Okay, so for tonight, I'll just do a brief overview of our elections process. I think this has been shared out pretty widely, and it's on the website as well. We'll talk a little bit about, I'll just mention the current board members, who they are, and then we'll start running through all the candidates. I'm super excited, guys, about this election. We have 8 candidates. We unfortunately had one who dropped out just today. She had some things come up in her life that is going to take away, from her ability to fully be present in that role. So she's decided to not run this year. All right, so the election process. So every year we have our elections, and every year a different set of board members go up, or board member roles go up for election. So this year, it is on the even years. We have the VP of Membership, VP of Finance, VP of Programs, and VP of Technology, and then every year President-elect as well. So those are the roles that are up for election this year. Next year, and I say 2025 because we just kind of review what happened last year, but next year as well, VP of Marketing, Communications, and Professional Development will be up for election next year. That way, we don't have an entire board, kind of roll over every single year. So half the board rolls off, or maybe someone gets reelected, but basically half the board rolls off and half the board rolls back on. So we started this process back in January, and I have to give a special shout out to my team. This was the first year we had a nominating committee team. Brian Poland and Janelle Peterson were gracious enough to volunteer to help me with the election process this year. And I think that really made it go a lot more smoothly, at least for me. I really appreciate all that they have done. So again, started in the January, February timeframe when we solicited for candidates. And we've been reviewing all the applications and prepping for the actual elections to start. And then elections will start. The goal is to have that start on Monday. I'll be honest, there is a slight chance that might get delayed a little bit, but I've been in touch with PMI Global on that. And so hopefully that will start next weekend. We run the elections, the voting for 2 weeks. And then we will announce the new board members in May, and then the new board term starts in July. And feel free to ask me any questions as we go through this. All right, so current board of directors. Hopefully these names are familiar to you, but really appreciate everyone, on the board stepping in. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Karen Hardesty right here. I am your past president. I've served on the board for about 8 years now in a variety of roles. And so got onto the president track, and this is my last year on the board. But I plan to stay involved for sure. So I think it's really important. It's an important organization. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's go and meet our candidates. So we're going to start with VP of Programs. And this did not show up the way I wanted it to, but that's fine. So VP of Programs really oversees our regular chapter events. Like tonight, Jeanine helped set this up for me, and manages the venues and the speakers, our social events, our networking events, things like that. And so we have a couple of people who had thrown their name into the hat for VP of Programs. We're going to start with Shiley. And so Shiley, if you could unmute yourself and just, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be our VP of Programs.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Very, very good evening to everybody here. There are a few familiar places, so many of you look familiar here actually. So hello, if I know you outside of work. So I go by Shiley. I've been in Micron now for 19 years. I am the global project management leader for their IT enterprises. I manage a portfolio of about 130 million this year, and I have project managers both here in the States as well as some in Italy, a few in India, and in Taiwan and Singapore. So it's a pretty big portfolio that we manage. It's a very, very exciting time to be in Micron. If you're in the Boise, Nampa area, you know that this is a fantastic time for us to be in Micron right now. I've seen Micron go through the ebbs and flows, so I'm very happy to see where we are today. So as I was researching for this, this particular position, I did a little bit of, asked me, my new favorite friend, Copilot at work and Claude outside, as to how many technology companies we have just in the Boise Meridian area. And it actually blew my mind because when I came here, it was a sleepy town. I came here because my husband was working in HP and I got a job in Micron 20 years ago, 19, 20 years ago. Now there are 3,800 technology companies in the Boise Meridian area. And I tell that with a barrel of salt because it's direct from Copilot, right? So it's somewhere in that vicinity. I cannot, I can, say that's kind of true over there. So I think this particular, as far as project management is concerned, it's given me a lot. I've traveled a lot thanks to my work in Micron. I've met some incredible people. I've done some incredible projects, especially during the COVID time. And it's just the people, right? I've learned a lot and Micron has given me fantastic opportunities to contribute. So that is me from a workspace kind of lens. On a personal level, I'm a mom to two boys, one senior going off to hopefully one of the East Coast colleges. He wants to be as far away from home as possible, so some East Coast college, and I have a younger one who's in middle school there. I have volunteered with Meals on Wheels, Idaho Food Bank, and a lot of other places here in the Valley. Boise is such a welcoming community. It's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic to be here. So one of the reasons I wanted to volunteer is to kind of give back. This profession has given me a lot personally and professionally. So this is my opportunity to see what I can do to give back. The charter for this role itself is really great. I think it is the programs and the events that actually pull people, pull membership. So I think there's a great opportunity to, have those events, have those programs that attract people who want to stay here. As I was researching for this role, I also saw that one of the biggest chapters is in Atlanta, and they run into hundreds of members, not thousands, hundreds of members. They're the biggest the local chapter for project management in the world, right? So there's a lot of opportunity we have in the Boise area, considering how quickly it is growing. So that's my little spiel as to why I think this particular role, irrespective of who gets it, there's a great opportunity, especially in a growing market. I have been part of some of the lunch and learns that this program has this chapter, excuse me, has, and that's helped me a lot. Especially, the one that really comes to mind is the one that I attended in December by this gentleman, Joe Puss, if I'm saying his name correct, and that was fantastic. You blew my mind. I follow him on LinkedIn now. He's got an app podcast and Apple Podcast, so it's a great place to kind of make connections and meet your fellow professionals because sometimes it can be a lonely world when we go into a little project space. So that's me. I apologize. I have to leave a little early in about 5-10 minutes. But I don't know, Karen, if you want
Yeah.
the questions now or later.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Shiley?
Shirley, what are you planning on bringing to the table as the VP of Programs? What events are you hoping to see facilitated this next year?
So I see a couple of opportunities there. Like I mentioned, this gentleman who was there, that was hugely motivating to me personally, all the work he's doing, not just from a professional space, but he actually also runs, he posts lots of openings around his area, around Arizona. He's in Arizona and worldwide. There is also another great opportunities, very similar to Doctors Without Borders. There is Project Management Without Borders. So I'm in touch with this individual. She's from the East Coast, which is, and I know all of us here are super busy in our day jobs, so to speak. But there are so many opportunities like that is out there to just hear from these people, and kind of understand, what we can do to improve ourselves and be better professionals. So I think those are some of the things, Kendra, that I'm planning to do. Some of the kind of people I'm planning to get some of that energy here.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions? Great. Well, thank you, Shiley.
Thanks, Karen.
Okay, I am going to go to Rachel Bertler. So she was unable to make it tonight. It is the first night of Passover. So she was unable to attend. So I'm going to play her video. Give me just a second to get this set up. Okay, here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Bertler and I am so excited to put my name forward for the VP of Programs position with the PMI Western Idaho chapter. Unfortunately, I could not make it there with you all virtually this evening, but if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send them to the board and I'm happy to follow up later this week. I've been in project management and operations for over a decade and I've worked in many different industries, including hospitality, healthcare, and technology. I currently lead portfolio strategy and execution at an ad tech company called Mountain. And my focus is on helping teams take large and complex goals and bodies of work and actually turn them into something that's structured, actionable, and achievable. My career has given me so many opportunities and it's really shaped who I am as a leader. And so now I'm ready to give back to this community. I'm running for this position because I genuinely believe that programs we offer as a chapter can be game changers for PMs at every stage of their career. And as VP of Programs, my focus would be on bringing in relevant and engaging events that leave our participants feeling energized and motivated to take their careers to the next level. I am deeply passionate about project management and serving my community, and I'm ready to roll up my sleeves. I would be honored to have your vote. Thank you so much for watching, and let's build something great together.
All right. Go back here. All right, so unfortunately, since she can't be here, you can't ask her any questions directly. However, if you do have a question that you would like me to relay to her, to get her, her thoughts on something, if you could just put that in the chat, and I will copy those down and get those to her and get a response. Okay. All right. So those are our candidates for VP of Programs. I'm going to turn it over to Brian from my team to introduce the VP of Membership candidates.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. It's great to meet everyone. For those of you that I don't know, she mentioned one of the other roles or positions we're looking to fill is the VP of Membership. Yeah, this slide turned out perfect. So I know you had issues with the last one, but for this role, the VP of Membership addresses the needs of chapter membership, including service delivery, recruiting, and retaining members. So we have 2 candidates for this position. I think Amy Moon. Is Amy on by chance? Don't see her. We can come back to Amy if we want to just jump down because I know Daniel's on. So maybe give the floor to Daniel if you want to like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, great. I'm sorry that Amy's not here. I like Amy. I would have given her a high five. So, yeah, so Dan Yeomans. I'm currently the mentorship program coordinator for the chapter. My background is so 22 years in the Air Force. A lot of my project and program management came from that experience while I was there. The last program I was running was for the B-2 bomber, which if you watch the news, has had some exciting stuff over the last year and a half that they've been doing with it. So I transitioned into Bureau of Reclamation after that, doing projects from special administrative studies all the way to some construction on some dams. I'm currently a teacher at Boise State teaching project management for their online certificate and bachelor's degree program. And in the fall, we're rolling out a graduate degree program focused specifically on project management. So it's kind of fun being in that and helping to evolve the academic side and push the PMI type structure, but also be able to mentor the students as they kind of go through. It's really fun trying to bring them in. And I mentioned PMI in the chapter as much as I possibly can to the students, just to try to get them involved. So why am I running for VP of Membership? I honestly just see it as an extension of what I'm already doing as the mentorship coordinator. I have some ideas that I would like to try to work with the VP of Programs, whoever that may be, to try to get some events that are very focused on bringing the members that the chapter is about to get when it rolls over to the new format involved either in networking or something of those natures. So yeah, super quick. Sorry, I talk fast. I'm super brief. It comes from years in the military. So yeah, any questions?
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, any questions for him? All right, perfect. All right, moving along. VP of Finance. So we have a couple of candidates for VP of Finance. So VP of Finance, as you can imagine, manages the oversight and reporting of our funds. So, they make sure our bills get paid and all of that good stuff. And is Katrina online? All right.
I don't see her, Karen.
Okay. Thanks, Janine. All right. I'll give you guys just a second here to read a little bit about Katrina. She's been involved in PMI WIC at our events. Yeah, hopefully we'll see if she'll join in a little bit. I imagine for both her and Amy, I'm guessing, how life and work can sometimes get in the way, unfortunately.
So there is a huge backup on 84 and 10
Oh,
mile. So
I
if
did
they're
see
stuck in
that.
that traffic, you probably won't see them anytime soon because it's both directions plus the overpasses all the way
Yes,
to
I
Gilroy.
saw I saw that on the news. That looked crazy. All right, so I think I saw Lalit on here. And just so you all know, so Lalit, and this is true for anyone who wants to be on the board, you can put your name in for multiple positions that you feel like you might be interested in. So Lalit has put his name in for VP of Finance, VP of Technology, and President-elect, which I think is awesome that he is wants to be so involved. So Lalit, I thought maybe you could go ahead and introduce yourself, and rather than have you talk at for each role, if you want to go ahead and kind of talk about what you're hoping to accomplish, or why you chose to put your name in for all of those roles.
Thank you, Karen. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. My name is Lalit Mangal. Let me give you my quick background. I'm from India, and being in a middle-class Indian family, so from the childhood, I knew that if I have to study, like I have to do something in the science and technology and nothing else. So I went to do the engineering in the electronics and instrumentation engineering. And after that, I came to US to pursue my master's in the computer engineering from the Syracuse University. And till my master's or till my first job, I was not even aware of like what the project management is or the program management is. So I started my career in 2014 at HP as a firmware engineer or the embedded software developer for their low-end LaserJet printers, where for the first time I got an opportunity to work with the cross-function team across the globe, where I was working with the people from the Singapore, China, India, US, and from the different ethnicities. So that gave me a global perspective. And there I was working on end-to-end product, like from the feasibility phase till the time we are delivering the product to the customer. So HP gave me a really good experience, and there I got, for the first time, I got a chance to work with the project managers, program managers, but it's still that, sorry, my kid fell, and so it's so at HP, for the first time, I got a really global experience, and then in 2019 January, I got an opportunity to work for Micron as a product engineer for the DRAM memory technology, and there I was working mostly as an individual contributor, mostly responsible for developing the memory products, again, working with the cross-function engineering teams different across the globe. And in 2022, I was getting more interested in the project management, program management, where I really wanted to do something, take more responsibility as a project manager, program manager. So I took a role in the engineering operations as a NAND memory technology program manager, where I was responsible for delivering the NAND memory solutions while working with the engineering teams across the globe from feasibility stage till the time we deliver the actual products to the customers. So during that time, I got so interested into the project management. I went for doing my PMP. I got involved with the chapter. I attended the last year's professional development day. I came in contact with Karen, Kendra, Daniel, and many other people in the Dana in the PMI WIC chapter. And and for me, I'm more interested in this in serving the chapter because because the project management has given me a lot. I have been active member. I have been the active volunteer with the PMI and the PMI WIC. With the PMI, I have been volunteering to review their PMP playbooks, their content material. I've been actively volunteering for PMXPO presentation reviews, working with the presenters to listen to their presentation, give them the feedback, and also working with the Global Summit series, where I'm still working with the presenters. Also, I was involved with the PMI WIC for this year's keynote speaker selection. Also, this chapter plays an important role to me because I have developed so many good friendships and a connection. So recently, I went into a situation where I needed a job. And I started reaching out to the people in the PMI WIC, and I was surprised to see like how the people and my fellow chapter members, they were really willing to help me, trying to introduce me to the people. And so now this is my chance to give the chapter back. Also, I believe in the continuous learning. So in the 2025, I just completed my executive MBA from the Boise State University. And that's why I'm interested in the position for the VP of Finance, because I want to leverage my MBA there, and the VP of Technology because my entire career has been in engineering and the technology. So I think I can bring the experience in both the domains. Also, I believe in the continuous learning, and since I've been volunteering with the PMI, I recently have been certified with the PMI Green Project Management Green Project Manager certification and it was free of cost because I was volunteering with them to review their exam content to take the pilot exam. I did, and 2 days back I received the email that I have passed the exam. So apart from the PMP, I have the uh, Green Project Management certification as well. Also, I believe apart from all this, I also want to make sure that I'm telling the people that the AI is not going to replace your job, but if you're not using the AI, then somebody else will replace your job who is using the AI. So I'm coming with that mindset to make sure to bring the value to the chapter and the chapter members, and eventually the chapter growth will be the byproduct. Thank you. I'm open to any questions.
Thanks, Lalit. Any questions? All right. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to move on to the VP of Technology.
Just back to me. All right. Yeah, I think this was a good roll off from Lalit, like what you just shared with your background, et cetera. So for the VP of Technology position, name kind of speaks for itself. This role will really manage all aspects of chapter technology, including any sort of technology acquisition, support, maintenance, the data analytics, and any sort of technology or software governance. So we had two candidates. Lalit, really appreciate you sharing your background and your interest even in this position. So I think we could probably jump over to Dana.
Yeah, hello. So I'm Dana Bolin. I have actually been your VP of Technology for the last 2 years. And I love hearing all the give back stories because I'm in the same boat, right? I moved around the country a lot with previous business. And so I've been a member of a whole bunch of different chapters all over the US. But I never, like, I was absent. I was there and I participated and I wanted to, go to events, but I didn't have a lot of time. And so when we moved to the Boise area, I was like, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to do something. And so I applied to be the VP of Tech. I come from 25 years. We don't talk about, how many years, I think, of technology, working for technology companies, working all over different industries in technology. And the kind of union of technology and project management. So I really like that space. I also really like the space of making things simple from an operations point of view. And because we're a board and because we don't have a lot of time and we're volunteers, right? Making sure that the technology that we're using at PMI WIC is right sized to what the board needs and to what the members need too, right? I look forward to being able to do more with that in the coming years if I'm elected, and be able to kind of bring more technology to the membership instead of just maybe bringing more technology to the board. So I have 3 kids, 2 dogs. I love to garden. I love to sew. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Questions, comments?
Thanks, Dana.
Yeah.
Any questions? Right. Okay, now we're going to move on to the president-elect candidates. So really, the president-elect assists the current president with all the chapter operations, helps with PDD, all of that good stuff, and automatically succeeds to the president role and then into the past president role. So this role for these candidates, it is a 3-year commitment. So like we already said, Lalit has submitted his candidacy for president-elect as well. And so we have one other candidate, Ben Williams.
Hello and good evening. Thank you so much for the time and for allowing me to be here. It's a pleasure. My background in project management is not IT and it is not tech. And I know, and that's a little bit of an anomaly, but much like many people, I discovered what project management was in my master's degree. And I had spent about 7 years in healthcare, ranging different roles. And only in my master's degree did I realize what project, that everything I had done was project management. I didn't know that was what you would call it. So really my background is very operations heavy, and really streamlining workflows. I've done strategic consulting. Most recently, I led a large pulmonology medical practice in Southern California, and during my time there, we actually doubled in size, both in providers as well as staff. Service. The other thing I wanted to mention is service has always been a part of my life, whether it's being a volunteering with Ski Patrol or several community clinics here in town. I've always wanted to serve and viewed that as really part of my career, in a sense. So I've been with PMI WIC since passing my PMP exam in 2019, right? Almost right before COVID. Kind of crazy that it's that long, but I love what PMI WIC is about. I'm here. I've been here for 6 years. I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon, and so it's been a joy to be a part. And like a lot of you, I want to give back. I want to give my best. I'm currently in between jobs right now, kind of focusing on my family, on a lot of things. So I have time, and I would really love and be honored to dedicate that to PMI WIC and making this chapter just phenomenal. I think a lot of people have such great ideas, and I think I really excel at bringing those ideas to fruition. And I always kind of coin myself as the master red tape cutter, because that's what I like to do. I like to get results and get ideas to market. So thank you very much for everybody for the time, and I'll hand it back to our host. Thank you.
All right. Great. Thanks, Ben. Any questions for Ben?
I kind of got a question. Ben, I'm curious. I love to see your background serving in the Peace Corps. I'd love to kind of know how you would maybe relate any sort of like what you learned in the Peace Corps to project management. You sort of parallel that in that regard.
Yeah. So projects, so the Peace Corps is all about projects, and documenting projects to prove, on the Peace Corps side, to prove that they're doing stuff. They're not just they're being accountable for their actions. So when I was with the Peace Corps, I worked on sanitation management in a small village. I worked with oral hygiene. I worked with the local elementary school regarding health education. and so those projects that I did, they'll were finite. They had a beginning and an end, and I did have to report those to the country director, which would report back to Washington, D.C. So again, but at the time I was in the Peace Corps, I wouldn't have ever known what project management was. I was just doing the tasks of the day. So.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Hey, Janine, did we have any of the other candidates?
Yes, we
Join?
had Amy join us.
All right, awesome. So let's go back up to Amy, who is a candidate for VP of Membership. So, Amy.
I apologize for being late. I got hung up at work, which unfortunately happens sometimes.
Yep.
For those that you don't know me, my name's Amy Moon, and it's been a pleasure serving as your VP of Membership Pro Tem for the past year or so. I stepped into this role because I saw an opportunity to support our chapter, to learn from all of you, and to work on projects that make a meaningful impact. And, this year's theme of Together We Can truly captures exactly why I stepped up, because our strongest progress happens when we collaborate with each other. And I decided to run to continue serving as the VP of Membership because I do believe deeply in the mission and values of PMI. And I believe that, together we can continue to build a chapter that reflects those values in everything that we do. Recently, I graduated from Boise State University with a Bachelor of Applied Science in Business Leadership and Project Management. I finished with a 3.9 GPA, which I'm very proud of. I also currently studying for my PMP, which I've scheduled my exam for mid-May, so that's very exciting. Thank you. I bring an early career perspective to the board and a strong understanding of what emerging professionals are seeking in a community like ours. I see that perspective as a strength, and I'm excited for the opportunity to continue to work alongside this board. Over the past year, my focus has been on engagement and connection. Some of my favorite moments have been our networking and volunteer initiatives, times when we're together, not just as project managers, but as a community. One highlight of this past year was our participation in Rake Up Boise, where our involvement increased by 87%. Which I'm also quite proud of. The growth isn't just a number, it's a reflection of what happens when people feel included, valued, and connected. I've also genuinely enjoyed supporting my fellow board members. This team works really hard, and being able to collaborate with them, pitch in where needed, and move our shared goals forward together has been one of the most rewarding parts of this role, to be truthful. Looking ahead, my vision is simple: to continue building meaningful experiences that bring value to our members. I want to listen to what matters most to you and help create opportunities that bring us together. I have some great ideas for this next year. One idea I'm excited about is possibly hosting dinners with guest speakers, events that combine learning, conversation, and low-pressure networking. Another idea might be virtual happy hours, which allows our more members who are farther out to connect and engage more easily with each other. These smaller, more consistent touch points bring real value to our members as they help build relationships and a stronger sense of belonging. My leadership style is grounded in servant leadership. I'm here to support, collaborate, and help create an environment where every member feels welcome and engaged, because together we can grow this chapter, strengthen our community, and create a place where every member feels proud to belong. Thank you for the opportunity to serve, to grow with you, and to help shape the future of our chapter. If chosen, it would be an honor to have your vote for VP of Membership and continue to work with the board. So thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Any questions for Amy?
I just have to say high five, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I told him I was going to give you one, but you weren't here.
I was like, oh. This was not the day for things to go late, but
Yeah. Yeah, understand. All right. I think that's it. I will follow up with Katrina and see if I can get a video from her that we can share out to the membership. Let me talk a little bit about, well, anyway, I guess first of all, just any other questions for the candidates?
I
Now
don't
that
have a
you've,
question, but
yeah.
I do want to say thank you all for raising your hand and saying and stepping up to saying, I want to volunteer for this position. As your incoming president, I look forward to working alongside all of you and getting that opportunity to really build out the board and get to bring your ideas to the forefront. I'm really excited for this upcoming year, and I'm grateful to just the different levels of expertise that are coming to the table. And as Amy said so eloquently, like this year is all about together we can. It takes more than just one person to make all of our programs and all of our action items and goals for the year possible. And so I'm grateful that all of you raised your hand, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results of the election, but then also to continue to work with you after that. So thank you all.
Ditto for sure. Yeah, I really do appreciate all the candidates stepping up here. So, all right. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's next. And this slide is kind of has a variety of things. First of all, elections. As I mentioned early on, the goal is to open up the elections on April 6th. And I know our operations liaison at PMI, he has been super busy. So there may be a delay in the opening of elections on Monday, but hopefully not. We'll see how that turns out. If it does get delayed, we'll send out a communication on that. But what will happen is that you as a member, only members have the ability to vote. So you as a member will get a custom email ballot. And I'll be honest, in past years, we have had some issues with those email ballots reaching the recipient. So if like in the next week, if you are, a member and you feel you should have received an email ballot and you didn't, and you check spam and all of that, and those other areas, you can contact me and we can for sure get you an email ballot. And as with any election, you can only vote once for each position. Okay. So that's coming up. I did want to take a minute, though, to highlight a couple of actual events that are coming up. One is next Wednesday, our Lunch and Learn with Nick Landry. That is virtual. So you'll see these on our events page. You can register for that. You'll receive one PDU. It should be a great session, a practical guide for project managers leading organizational change. And then our main event for the year that we've been putting on, gosh, I don't know, 10 years or so, our professional development day, where you can earn up to 5.5 PDUs. That's happening Friday, April 10th. And if you haven't registered, you need to register. You don't want to miss this event. So we have our keynote speaker, we have 9 breakout sessions and a networking lunch. It's going to be a great day. And you can find out, again, more information on our events page. All right. Just kind of before we wrap up, any questions about events, elections, candidates, PMI, WIC, PMI? All right. Great. We appreciate you being here. You can receive one PDU for this session. This is just information on how you do that. It does align with all elements of the talent triangle, so pick the one that you need the most. Yeah, and if there's nothing else, we'll call it a wrap. I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.